based on some assumptions that I have taken, and then we have this at mid we have a 3 feet kind of door. So you have got 36 inches, so you have got 18 at this point, 18 at this point, and then you have got the trim. Now in case if you want to put the staircase now you can basically design it. Now let's say there's one staircase over here, so if you want to put more staircases, so what I will suggest is just to move this wall to an extent, but then the porch has to be moved and the alignment. So let's put it like this. So this is the somewhat the sketching thing that is discussed. And then if I want to create more doors or windows, let's say here I want to create a window over here in the dining space, let's say. So how I do is so I have this let's say 3 feet left over here, and let's say 4 feet window I want to create it. So I go with like this, trim this portion and create a line. Now this is something that I wanted to tell you about, how to create a plan. Initially we will do more of it, how to create plans and elevation, but this is a basic idea of how we do it quickly. So you have a refrigerator over here, let's say 3 feet by 2 feet, a refrigerator, and there's a slab over here. Let's create it so that the slab is the dishwasher. So basically the slab thickness is around 2 feet. Let me tell you how we can create. So there's a kitchen over here, you can see at this point. There's a kitchen at this point. So here, so let's say 2 feet is the slab thickness. Here we go, and let's say I have a chamfer of 12 inches distance. Chamfer distance is 12 inches by 12 inches. So I have a chamfer over here. Right. So this is how I create the chamfer. Now let's say I close this point over here, and I want to keep a refrigerator of 3 feet. So 3 feet. I close the line, and let's say I can put a refrigerator over here, and let's say I want to finish it off here itself, say from 2 feet from this point I want to finish, so take an offset of 24 inches. So or let's say I can finish, I want to finish it at or move this window a bit, let's say I want to move it 12 inches, and then from here 24 is the reference for the slab to finish off, and then here. So now I'm creating more elements. So this is a slab element that I have created, and one thing that I'm doing it because I wanted to, then there is a dining table over here. So let's see how I can create it. Mainly the dining table can be 6 feet by let's say 4 feet. We can have, let me take a line over here, and let's say I want to create a 6 feet length at this point. So fillet it, or I can have it not only 6 feet. So there are 4 seaters over here, and this is the dining table that I can create. So you can see that, say it's around 24, or let's say 36 would be fine. 3 feet is fine for the dining table. So this is where I have this dining table, and I can have an arc over here, let's say a curve. So I can create a offset of 9 inches here, and a line at this point, create an arc with 3.1, so 2, so arc, first point, second point, and third point. So you can trim it, and here we go. So now I've got a lot of options. Now let me put some text over here. Let's say I put a text over here. I'll teach you how to write the text in the sessions. Let's say I write it as a dining room. So I say dining. So I can scale this to a point. Right. So you have got a dining, you have got let's say living and other things. Now you have this plan, and now you need to with this plan that you have drafted with me, you need to create the different layers. Now how I do, so I go to the layer properties here. I see a def point layer that comes, so avoid it. So here we have let's say a wall, so you have an external wall, so you can say ext. You can have another wall, let's say wall. So now let's say if you want to rename it, right click, wall dash internal wall. Okay, then you have another layer, let's say text. Now you have another layer which is window. You have another layer, let's say door, and you have another layer, let's say glazings we have done, and stairs, and you have another layer called dimensions, right? So you can always click right and say new layer, so you can go for dimensions. So right. So now you created this objects. Now whatever will be required, we can do that. So you have this text, dimensions, doors, right? And right, so move this line. So and then you have got furnitures, right? That's something that you need to create, the dining table that you have created. So you have got a furniture. Now let's put some properties to it. Let's say exterior wall, I put a color as let's say take a color red. So now and the interior wall, I put a color, let's say a bit of different red shade, 21, or let's say 20, or something different, like let's say 40. So you have the color red to exterior wall and 40 to the interior wall. Now how do you transfer these objects? So now let's say you pull this line and say I want to put it in the exterior layer. You pull this line, so this object is in the wall exterior layer. So keep on selecting and see that now the layers are so this is the wall for the exterior layer. I think if you do this exercise, you will understand very significantly the use of what is the standard use for the layers. So if I miss something, that's fine, but the idea is to first of all look into the part where now there is a change in the thickness over here. So let's put it all these walls into it right now to the exterior, but it has to be an interior wall. So the drafting, see over here the lines has to be reduced to a point. So this cannot be a wall, so you have this line over here and there is a separate line. So drafting standards has to be maintained, because all lines has some kind of definition, whether it is a wall, whether it's a door, window, or whatever it is. So the moment you do layers, so you will find that interesting thing that is going to happen. So again, so here you can trim this line and create a different line so that it does not go to the exterior wall layer. Now, so the door is not in the exterior wall, but this line is of the brick or whatever the material you want to give. So this line you can give it as because this is a part of it, so you can give it as an exterior wall, right? Though it is 4.5 inch thick, but you can give it. So why I'm doing why did not I put all the walls, because I wanted to tell you that walls can also have different kind of different layers also. So here again you want to put the interior wall into a different color, so you have this. I'm doing it fast so that you guys understand, there would be a match property tool that will I'll explain you how fast you can match the properties of the layers. If I have missed something, you can basically carry on with it. So we'll be doing more kind of exercises later on the plan. This was a basic some kind of rough exercise that I wanted to do with you. So I think and this has to go with the staircase. So let's say I go to the layer and give the staircase as a cyan color. So this staircase, again in the staircase, the railing, if there is a railing, it will be going through a different layer. This has to go to the exterior layer and so on. This has to go to the layer that is connected with it. So this has to go to the, it's not a staircase, this is a, again it has to be trimmed from this part, so here, and then you have the staircase. Now you can see that the colors are getting displayed over here, and then you can give more color to something different. Like for example, I can give the door color to, let's say, green color 102, dimension color to, let's say, I want to keep it as something gray, or let's say, okay, color 42. And then we have this furniture color giving something different that is visible, and text should be brighter, let's say, okay, and the window is, let's say, I will go for a green. So now thing is that nothing would be there in the zero layer if not specified. So this will go to the furniture layer, so this will go to the slab layer. So you don't have a slab layer here, so you can create a layer called slab. So now you can go to LA, again you can go and create a slab. So I told you that you know, it may be required that you need to create more layers while you're drafting. So let's say you have this object as in the slab layer. So you have this object in the slab layer, you are done. And so there are different colors are very significant, they have to be. So let's say I put a different color to it. So there's a slab layer. Now the text layers will fall, so you need to give it text. Now all text layer should come in the text layer. So select it and see all the text has to go to the text, right? And so let's say the text is having a very similar color to, so I can have a different color to the text, so it will change. Now you can see that the moment, and the window will be having a different color. So I do have a window, so I can put all these in the window layer, right? And here I go, and this is also something that I can put it in the glazing because these are glazed. So later on I can create more of it. So I can put the entire, the swing and the entire object into the basically the door right now. So I have not created door swing as a different layer because, but the AIA specifies it. So we will see what AIA specifies if we do the standard. So I go to the dimension layers. Now you can see, so this has to go to the window layer. So you have got this window layer here, and this will go to the dimension layer. So here we have the dimension layer. So okay, so you can always have the dimension layer a different color. Let's say I go to the layer and the dimension layer, let's say I want to put it some bit let's say a green kind of thing. So this is how it works, hopefully. And this you can put it in the stairs layer, and because it's a step, so you can see different colors over here. Now these, if you go the mouse and see that, it will be giving you the definition of it, right? Now let's quickly go with the operations of putting it on, off. Let's say I want to put the dimensions off, so I go to the layer and put the dimensions off. So here the dimensions are not visible. So if I want to put it on, so I go with layer on and put it on. I can also use the layer off option to change it, right? So then now comes the other thing is that the line type. So there are certain line types. So let's say now this object is by layer. Now if you look into it, there is another tab over here under the properties which says the color is by layer, the line weight is by layer, and the line type is by layer. Now let's say apart from that, I want to give this specific door a different color, not by the door layer. So I can select this object and give it a different layer. So what I'm doing is I'm overriding the property of the by layer. That means if anything that changes in the layer, the color changes, it will not affect it because I have overridden it. Or if I give by layer, that means it will take by layer. But if I give a different color, that means I'm overriding the properties of its layer with a color that I am giving. Similarly, if I want to give a line type to it, so let's say if I want to give a line type, go to the others and go to the load. So here I want to give a let's say a dash line type over here. Now here comes the scaling option. So here I can see that this is having a different line type, but due to its scale, so there is two scale factors in the line type. One is the global scale factor and one is the local scale factor. Now let's see what is the global and the local here itself. So the global scale factor comes from the LT command. So you can see the show detail over here. The global scale factor is 1. It means that if I reduce the scale factor of the line type, let's say 0.1, all the line type basically will change. Let's say if I increase it to 4 or let's say 30, that means I'm increasing the line type, but still there is no change over here. Now I have to look into it why. So let me give a very lower value, 0.05 or let's say 0.2 or let's say 100 or let's say 20. So this is something, the permutation combinations that I am doing it right now. But how we basically so what is happening once we are giving the scale, let's say I'm giving a scale of twice, so the line type is increasing. The moment I'm giving a lesser scale, so the line type is reducing it, let's say 0.25. Now you can see the lines are closer. So what is happening, the gaps between the dots are getting changed, the line dashes are getting changed. So you can try with different values depending upon what algorithm the line type has been written. Now let's talk about the global line type scale factor. Now let's say I have a different kind of objects. Let's say I have got circles over here and they are of, let's say so there are different objects in the drawing area in different layers. So let me put it here in the, let's say, the door layer. So this is also overridden. That means the line type is overridden, not by the layer. Overridden means the line type is taken not by the layer, by the object. Now this is having the same scale. So if I change the scale factor over here, that is the global scale factor. So if it comes from the LT command. So if I make it 1, you see that the scale factor is changing for all the objects that the line type has been assigned. Let's say if I go with a different another line type. So let's say I'm at the door layer right now. So I create an object and I give a different line type. So just give you an explanation of what global line type scale is, because it is very simple, but at the time it is very confusing if you don't understand it. So let me give the it a different. So now you have got two different line types, right? But it is controlled. The spacings are controlled universally by the LT scale command, which is here, which you can, let's say 0.5 you can see, or from the LT command, where if you hide the details it will not be shown, but you will show the details. So you can do the same. So the LT scale is for the global scale factor of the line type. So you can make it 3. So you can see that here it is filled. So the line type has increased. So now you can make it, let's say 0.5. So overall the line type is changed. But what is the practice? The practice is not to change the line type scale overall. I do not do it. So keep the line type scale as, let's say, 1 for all, whatever it is, whatever the however it is made, right? Now if you want to reduce the spacing over here, select the object, click right, and go to the properties, and there are, you will see that of this particular swing or the line, you have got two line type scale. One is the global scale factor and other is the current scale factor. That means here the line type scale is 1, but further you can scale it, let's say 0.5 for this particular object, or let's say you can do it, select 0.1. So you can see that over here the overall line type scale is 0.2. So if you go to the properties of it, so now it is 0.1. It means that you have changed the line type scale for only this object. Now what happens, let's say if I make it 0.5. So what happens if I make the global scale factor twice? So what will happen, the overall scale factor of individual object is, it is a global scale factor into current scale factor. For example, what is the overall scale factor of this? So go to the properties of it and see line type scale is 1. That means for this object the line type scale is 1, but the global scale factor is 2. So the overall scale factor, line type scale factor for us is 2. But for this it is not 2. If you go to the properties, it is 0.5, but the global scale factor is 2. The overall scale factor is 0.5 into 2, that is 1. So this is how we do the line type scale, right? So in line type scale you have got two scale factor. One is the current scale factor, that is for the object, and the other is for the line type scale factor is a global scale factor. So the overall scale factor, line type scale factor, is current scale factor into the global scale factor. Now again, come to the line weight option. So once you go to the line weight option, so here you have got series of line weights over here that is available. So you can display the line weight by clicking on this, and there's a scale that you can see. The scale basically controls how thick or thin it will be visible in the screen. So let me put it like this. So the moment you say display, that means all the line weights that has been assigned to the layers can be displayed. So let's say I go and say the exterior wall is having a line weight of, let's say line weight, that means I'm going to the default and giving a line weight of 0.30 mm. So here in the screen all the exterior wall will be thick, you know, and then you can basically change the display by display line weight and click it off, so it will be off. Similarly, the scale resembles how thick and thin it will look in the screen. It has nothing to do with the print, right? Similarly, if you give in the layer the line weight of the internal wall as, let's say, thinner than the exterior wall, so here we can, it's a 0.3, so you can give 0.25. So here we are, so here it goes, and you can see that there is a thickness that is given for the layer, and it's a 0.25. So okay, if I increase the line weight scale, probably the thickness may be visible, so let me increase it so you can see the thickness here, right? So this is the wall in, so here, right? So this is how we control the line weight of the different objects. So let me make it 0.30 to make it significantly thicker. So now it is thicker, and you can have the scale over here, right? So a bit of it, right? So this is the theory of properties of object, the line type scale. Now if you want to make this hidden or somewhat, so there, now if you want to change the line weight of this particular line, so one thing is that you can change the layer, the line weight in the layer, or individually select that object, go to the properties panel, and there's a line weight drop down list, right? And you can always give a override setting to the current setting of the layers. So this is how we do on the layer. The other thing that you need to understand is merging two layers. Let's say if I want to merge the dimension and the text layers, so LAYMRG is the command. LAYMRG. So you can try with this. So LAYMRG is the command by which you can merge two layers. For example, I want to select object on layer to merge. So I want to select the text layer that I want to merge, enter target, that means a dimension. So what is happening is all the objects in the text layer is merged to the dimension layer. So let's say LAYMRG is the command. So first of all, you want to get all the text objects into the dimension layer, select it, press enter, and the target is this. So, and do you wish to continue? I say no. So then it is cancelled, right? So again, if I want to merge it, select, enter, target, yes, I want to do it, right? That means it is merged and the layer of the text is deleted. That's something that is very, very important. Okay, the next is basically knowing about layer state manager and layer filter that we will do in the next session, and continue with the grip commands. Thank you.